Welcome everyone to the first round of the 2014 FF2M season. We are here for the feature race here at the Nurburgring. For once, this is not James Brickles commentating over this. This is the man who commented alongside him during the Malaysian Grand Prix, Willows Racing's team boss Joseph Willows. And we are here at the Nurburgring for the first round of the 2014 FF2M season. Coming off the back of an amazing Asia series which saw Fabio Lima take the title, we arrive here for the main FF2M series, mainly taking place in Europe. And we kick things off here at the Nurburgring, which is of course supporting the 2014 FF1M European Grand Prix, and hopefully that should be an exciting race as well. But as you can see, we've got a great view of the circuit. We have the Nordschleife right next to it as well. I bet a lot of people were wishing that this was racing at the Nordschleife, but obviously for safety reasons we can't race on that version. It is of course the Grand Prix version, but of course that version is also cool as well. No complaints from me on my end. Of course, the version we are racing on is the 2001 version of the Nurburgring. In fact, it's just come up on your screen right now. Personally, I prefer the newer version of the Nurburgring, but it's not for everybody's taste. I can understand that. Last season, of course, we had Jolyon Palmer take pole position, with Karun Chanduk taking the victory in the feature race, and Fabio Lima for Willows taking the victory in the sprint race. Fabio Lima, of course, not racing for Willows this season. We're going to have 38 laps of action in this feature race, and then later on down the line we will have 16 laps for the sprint race. But here is the grid then for the feature race. It's Thomas Gonzalez who takes pole position for Spaniel, with Azuki Yoshida in second. Max Verstappen starts in third, with Cooper Lee in fourth. Janjo C starts in fifth, with Charles Pick in sixth. The two Willowsers lock out row 4 with Esteban Ocon in 7th and Stoffel Van Dorn in 8th. Antonio Felix da Costa starts in 9th with Marcus Ericsson in 10th for Shake and Bake. The Asia champion Fabio Lima starts 11th with Alexander Rossi in 12th. Pascal Wehrlein starts 13th with Jolyon Palmer in 14th position. Starting in 15th is Naoki Yamamoto for Horizon, with Felipe Nasr in 16th. Daniel Kvyat starts 17th with fellow Russian Sergei Sorokin alongside him in 18th. Pierre Gasly is in 19th with Nicholas Latifi in 20th, and then the two Brits round out the grid with Max Chilton in 21st and Will Stevens in 22nd and last, 2.9 seconds back from Thomas Gonzalez. And we're now on the grid. 38 laps of action coming your way. The 5 lights are coming on, with the 5 lights now on, and as we wait, it is underway for the 2014 FF2M season, and it's a good start from Gonzalez, who gets away well. Yoshida isn't able to capitalise, making their way down towards turn 1. Everybody scampering to try and gain position at the start. Making their way down towards turn 1. Nicholas Latifi has not made a good start. There's a lot of contact at the back. 2 cars have gone off. I don't know who that is. There's another car involved. I think that's one of the Willows. It is. It's Stoffel Van Dorn. And who are the other 2 cars that have gone off as well? I can't quite tell who it is. It's Marcus Ericsson, who's also gone off as well, but there are 2 other cars. It's Felipe Nasr and Sergei Sorokin, who have gone off. So carnage already at the first corner as Gonzalez leads the way. So let's have a look at the start lane. So let's see what on earth happened there. So going down to turn 1, there was a lot of argy-bargy going on. Like Van Dorn got tagged by someone on the inside there. Couldn't quite tell who that was. And then there was more carnage going on at the back. We now run on with Ganjo Chi as we now make the way down towards the left-hander, as using the curve quite nicely. He's all over the back now of Dutchman Max Verstappen as they make their way down the hill now then towards the flat out right-hander. This is on the back straight. He trying to see if he can make a move straight away into that corner there, but can't quite make it done. Up towards the Adbogan chicane now then, as Cooper Lee defends the inside line there from Antonio Felix da Costa, as there's more movement going on. Naoki Yamamoto looks like he's about to lose a position. He is making their way through the chicane now then. Everyone keeping it tidy despite a few wobbly moments there. See now on the inside of Max Verstappen. Can he get the move done into turn 1? Just about squeezing Max Verstappen a little bit there. He got pinched on the inside and through into third place was Guancho Chi. As now, as a result of Verstappen going wide, Cooper Lee now fancies his chances. Going down to turn 3, there's a bit of contact, but luckily Lee doesn't spin there. I thought for a moment there the Aussie was going to spin off there, but thankfully he didn't. But now that's going to put him prey to Antonio Felix da Costa, who's now trying to have a look down the inside into the Dunlop curve, and it looks like Lee might have it covered unless... No, da Costa's gone for an outrageous dive bomb and has gone for a spin, and I think Lear's actually got away with it because he's still in 5th position, but that's not good news for Antonio Felix da Costa, as he nearly got collected there by somebody fending off from Vandon. I couldn't quite tell who that was, as we now ride on board with the FF2M Asia champion Fabio Lima, making his way down towards turn 1 now then, having a look at Pascal Wehrlein for P8 in the beautiful BWT livery, as there's more movements going on in the background. Chilton there getting pinched by one of the Pennzoil cars, I believe it was, as they make their way down the hill now then, as look at this, 2 positions in the space of 1 there from the Pennzoil car, whoever that was, and that was Alexander Rossi. A great move as the 2 teammates collide. Julian Palmer hits the back of his teammate and has gone for a spin and has held up one of the Willows cars. I'm going to presume that was Esteban Ocon he held up, because Vandon's down the field, as meantime we ride on board with, this is Pierre Gasly on the back of his own teammate, actually, Cooper Lee, and now they've got his fellow compatriot, Chel Pick, all over the back of him as they make their way down towards turn 3, and it's contact, and around goes Chel Pick. Gasly lucky to get away with that one, but Pick has blown his chances of any points today, and now he's going to have to wait for a gap in the traffic, unless he's beached it in the gravel, but there's so much chaos. These guys clearly having trouble with driving standards, that's for sure. Esteban Ocon now then, attacking Pascal Wehrlein. He gets himself up into 9th. Well, just about, I should say. He caught the gravel there and has now made a load of cars catch him up as a result, as they make their way down towards turn 3. Wehrlein now trying to attack Ocon back into turn 3. There's a bit of contact, and luckily Ocon keeps it there, so it must have been Vandon then that Palmer was holding up a little bit earlier on. I do apologise for that. Making their way down the hill, Naoki Yamamoto now then making a move now on Pascal Wehrlein. Can he get it done down into the Dunlop hairpin? No, not quite. Wehrlein just able to hang it around the outside there then. Wehrlein again now having to defend off, and it's contact now. Wehrlein and Yamamoto have spun. Yamamoto has spun. I'm not sure if Wehrlein has. I think he might have just got away with it, but Naoki Yamamoto, and yes he has actually, Pascal Wehrlein has spun off in the pink BWT car, and unfortunately not good news for the pair of them, as we now look at Max Chilton now then, who tags the other BWT car and has gone for a wild spin, and so has the guy he has collected as well. And well, that's not good news for Max Chilton. Started on the back row of the grid, but unfortunately it's not going to be any points for the Brit, as now we look at Da Costa, who's trying to make a move on the inside, and well, you could see that was going to happen easily there. Da Costa goes for a wild spin down at turn 3, as meantime race leader Thomas Gonzalez comes into the pits for his mandatory pit stop. Of course, in the feature race, you have to make a mandatory pit stop, and Gonzalez, the first of the leaders to make a pit stop, as his mechanics are already waiting for him in the first garage. So let's see how quick this stop is going to be then for Gonzalez, as the crew get to work on his car, and it's a 5.4 second stop, a very good stop indeed. Let's see where he can come out. There's some more mechanics waiting in the pit lane. I'll be interested to see who that is. Gonzalez, I think he's going to rejoin in 4th position. And yes, he is just in front of, I believe that's Cooper Lee. And it is Cooper Lee he's just come out in front of there. As now we look at Daniel Kvyat now on the inside into the Adbogan chicane. And he takes P16 with ease there from, I believe that's Max Chilton, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be Jolene Palmer. It's one of the two. As now through the Coca-Cola curve we go now then onto the pit straight, as it looks like Nicholas Latifi now fancies his chances on, I believe, I'm going to presume this is Jolyon Palmer we're looking at. He's trying to overtake. Up into 17th place now then goes Nicholas Latifi, and just able to keep it on the track there. Very lucky not to get it onto the gravel, as now he's trying to find a way back is Max Chilton, so I was correct there. Or did I say Jolyon Palmer? I can't remember, but side by side to go, and what the hell was that from Nicholas Latifi? He just shoves Max Chilton off there, and Chilton finds himself, as a result, in the gravel track. Not great driving there from the Canadian. Now, we look at Thomas Gonzalez, who's now all over the backside of Max Verstappen. He'll want to make a move very quickly if he wants to win the feature race, and that's not how he wanted to do it. Contact between him and Max Verstappen. That gives Yoshida a big opportunity to try and grab the lead as a result. And, well, I bet you any money the Tornado team are going to be absolutely furious with that one. As meantime, speaking of Yoshida, he now comes into the pits in a very retro Arrows livery, it must be said. I really do like the look of that livery. But Asuki now then comes into the pits. Let's see how quick this stop is going to be then for the Japanese driver, as we are on lap 18 of 38 in this feature race. And let's see now then, 5 seconds quicker than Gonzalez's pit stop, 0.4 of a second it must be said. And I will assume Yoshida is going to rejoin in the lead, and yes he does. Yoshida now then the legit leader of the feature race, with teammate Guancho Chi in second place. I do believe he has to make a pit stop though, so I don't think that 1-2 is going to last for very long. As meantime, we look at this battle going on 3 wide into the Adbogan chicane. That's not going to end well. There was contact, but somehow no accident happening there. So very, very lucky indeed. As now here comes Shelpick on the inside, and he makes it up into 17th, just keeping it on the track there. Now Rossi on the back of Ocon now then, making his way down the hill towards the first 2 corners. I think he should be able to get the move done as Van Dorn pits for Willows, and that's a beautiful move from Rossi. A very clean move, it must be said. And up into 5th place goes the American, as Ericsson and Kvyat now fighting out for 15th. And well, you could just see that coming. We've seen plenty of collisions down at the Dunlop hairpin, as Ericsson there nearly got collected by somebody there, and that's cost those 2 positions as a result. Now we look at Thomas Gonzalez on the inside of, sorry, it's Fabio Lima, not Thomas Gonzalez. He passes Van Dorn into P5, so up into 5th place goes the Asia champion, as he now finds himself on the back of Rossi, looking to get 4th place if he can, up the hill through the Schumacher S, and now into the left-right complex we go. Van Dorn fending off from Cooper Lee, and there's contact between the pair. Luckily the pair of them don't spin off, but clearly there's a lot of aggression going on in this feature race, and it wouldn't surprise me if we have the same thing happening in the sprint race a little bit later on. As now we look at Fabio Lima on the back of Alexander Rossi. He's going to try and make a move into the Adbogan chicane. Down the inside he goes, and oh, bit of contact, but he just is able to get the move done, and up into 4th goes Fabio Lima. And now can Van Dorn capitalise from that bit of contact? No, not quite. Making their way down towards the first few corners now then. Van Dorn and Lee fancying their chances now on Rossi, as Lee now on the inside to stop Van Dorn, but Van Dorn's just going to hold off because he's in the slipstream of Rossi, using Rossi's slipstream to good effect. Lee trying to tag along as well, as there's a bit of contact between the pit, all 3 of them. Rossi goes straight on, Van Dorn up into 5th place, so Cooper Lee incidentally there allowing Van Dorn to get up into 5th place as a result. Can Cooper Lee now try and get 6th place now of Rossi? He definitely can, as Rossi makes a little bit of an error there going into turn 3 there, and up into 6th place goes Cooper Lee, as now Rossi finds himself under attack from Max Verstappen, who will of course be a bit frustrated after the contact with Thomas Gonzalez earlier. Down the inside into the Dunlop hairpin, and up into 7th place goes the teenage Dutchman of Max Verstappen. That's P7 for him there, and 2 championship points at this point in time, as down the inside goes Cooper Lee on Stoffel Van Dorn into the Adbogan chicane, and for once we see a clean move into that chicane. Up into P5 goes the young Australian. Max Verstappen now fancies his chances on Van Dorn. Down the inside goes Verstappen. Is he going to try and get the move done on Van Dorn? This is going to be quite tight. Luckily they keep it clean, and Verstappen makes it up to 6th. Looks like Van Dorn clipped the gravel there and now finds himself under pressure from I believe that can't be Alexander Rossi, can it? I think it is actually Rossi, is it? Well, anyway, whatever happened, Ocon now finds himself up in 8th, and now tries to make a move on his teammate, and he does so with ease. Up into 7th place goes Esteban Ocon, passing Stoffel Van Dorn, and Van Dorn, if he's not careful, may find himself out the points. We now look at, I believe this is Cooper Lee on the back of Fabio Lima, as this battle for 4th intensifies. Meituan Yoshida's got a 28.6 second lead over teammate C, so C didn't need to make a pit stop in the end. He actually pitted quite earlier on, so far it's a 1-2 for the team. As now making their way through the Coca-Cola curve is Lee going to try and fancy his chances on Fabio Lima. Down the straight onto the final lap we go. Lee on the inside now then of Fabio Lima. Is this going to be P4 for the Australian? And it is. Up into 4th place goes Cooper Lee, and looks like it's going to be a P4 finish for the Australian, and some good haul of points there for him indeed. But now, meantime, we look at Asuki Yoshida, and it's been a brilliant race for him. Obviously, he got a little bit lucky with the contact between Verstappen and Gonzalez, but he took advantage and was able to keep the lead after his mandatory pit stop around the final corner. Asuki Yoshida is going to take the first win of the 2014 FF2M season. He wins the feature race here at the Nurburgring. Fantastic stuff from the AJ driver. and a fantastic race indeed. A lot of chaos. But here is your final results then. Isuki Yoshida takes the win from Kencho C in 2nd, Thomas Gonzalez 3rd, Cooper Lee in 4th, Fabio Lima 5th, Max Verstappen 6th, Esteban Ocon in 7th, with Stoffel Van Dorn rounding out the points in 8th, with Alexander Rossi 9th, Pierre Gasly 10th, Shell Piquet in 11th, with Felipe Nasr 12th, Sergei Sorokin 13th, Jolyon Palmer 14th, Naoki Yamamoto in 15th, Antonio Felix da Costa 16th, Daniel Kvyat 17th, Will Stevens 18th, Nicholas Latifi 19th, with in 20th position Pascal Wehrlein, Max Chilton in 21st, and Marcus Ericsson in 22nd and last, with Thomas Gonzalez picking up the fastest lap bonus point with a 1:41.355 in the end there then, but it could have been so much more for Gonzalez if it weren't for the contact with Verstappen. Here is the championship then after the feature race here at the Nurburgring. Isuki Yoshida, of course, taking the early lead in the championship, with Gonzalez in 2nd place thanks to picking up the pole position bonus point and the fastest lap bonus point as well. Gensho 3rd, with Lee 4th, Lima 5th, Verstappen in 6th, Ocon 7th, and Van Dorn in 8th, with the rest of the drivers still yet to score a point. But it's the team's championship that's interesting. AJ Motorsport taking early lead in the championship by 7 points ahead of Spaniel, with OLM Racing in 3rd position, Liquid Target in 4th, and Willows, the final team to have points, in 5th, with Danish, Gajera, STV, GRM, Horizon, and Shake and Bake the only teams yet to score a point this season. So that is it then from the feature race here at the Nurburgring. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Indeed, a very chaotic race, and who knows what to expect from the sprint race. But until then, I've been Joseph Willows, and I will see you very soon for the sprint race at the Nurburgring. Goodbye.